Hey everyone, Evan Steliason here, founder of Higher Mind Incense and the Northwest School of Aromatic Medicine. And I really felt like bringing some clarity today to those of you who use aromatics for your health or the health of your family or others, as there's just so many options out there in today's fragrance and essential oil markets. And with more and more options comes the need for greater diligence in hunting down the best sources for our medicines. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some really awesome tips that will help you learn how to navigate the world of fragrance and aromatics with more grace, so you can feel more confident knowing what types of products are going to aid your health and which ones are actually potentially harmful to your health. And this is a huge topic today for people in the field of aromatherapy and natural perfumery, especially those just starting out on their path. There isn't always clarity from companies that use essential oils or fragrances in their products, like salves, sprays, topical medicines, natural beauty products, air fresheners, scented candles, and even essential oils. And if you're using aromatics or essential oils for healing purposes, whether you're healing at home or in a clinical setting, the first thing that you need to know about the medicines that you're using is if they're therapeutic grade materials or not, and what that term actually means. A lot of companies aren't fully transparent in letting us know exactly what they're putting in their products, or where their aromatic essences come from, or how they're harvested, or what other fragrance aids are in the bottle besides aromatic medicine. So the first topic I'll cover here today is fragrance oils versus essential oils. And you might already know the difference between the synthetic man-made fragrance oils and the natural essential oils. Basically, these natural fragrance oils are far from natural. These are chemicals that are designed in a laboratory to really mimic a natural aroma. And the fragrance industry, it's a massive worldwide industry that creates man-made fragrances for just about every single beauty product, every household product that you can imagine. The fragrances they produce, they're found in candles and in bath salts and cosmetics and laundry detergent, dish soap, deodorant, and a lot of different essential oil products. And a large percentage of perfumes today are made entirely of these chemicals. But essential oils, on the other hand, these are naturally produced products of aromatic plants that are distilled into medicinal extracts used in aromatherapy and medicine, cosmetics, and many scented products as well. When fragrance oils are diffused or burned, or put on the skin, they can actually be really harmful to the health, especially when used over longer periods of time. But pure and natural essential oils have the opposite effect, and they promote healing to the mind and body and emotions, and even to the spirit. So it's really good to definitely stay away from using fragrance oils or chemical fragrances, no matter what kind of product they're in. Even if they say natural on the bottle or the product, they're not going to be medicinal in any way. So the second topic I want to cover concerns the actual plants in the field, out in nature, and also in the cultivation process. And we're going to talk about organically grown or wild harvested aromatic plants. These are definitely, these are going to make the highest quality essential oils and aromatic materials. In organic cultivation, it calls for natural or organic fertilizers, and organic plants haven't had any chemicals added to them in the growing process. They haven't had anything sprayed on them. So this is super important because poisonous chemical toxins and fertilizers or insecticides used in non-organic cultivation are released from plants the plant material in steam distillation, and these chemicals distill over into the essential oil, resulting in really high concentrations of toxins that are up to 50 times higher than what's found in non-organic fruits or vegetables. So if you use non-organic essential oils or aromatics, you're definitely going to be getting heavy doses of chemicals with your medicine. Just something to be really aware of. So with organics, one misconception that I see a lot is that a lot of people think that a product that's labeled organic means that, you know, it's always going to be clean and fresh and super high quality. But a lot of the times we see that that isn't the case. You know, just because an oil is labeled organic or is certified organic doesn't mean that it's fit for aromatherapy treatment. When we buy essential oils, we never actually see the plants or the plant material that was used to produce it. It's different in the grocery store, for example. You know, we can go there and we get to pick out the healthiest looking veggies, the most vibrant ones. You know, we're not going to pick out this squishy one or the sad looking fruit, where we want a healthy, vibrant fruit or vegetable. But when we're shopping for essential oils, it's really up to the distillers to decide what quality is going to be suitable to use. And there's a lot of different factors that go into producing healthy plants. There's the soil quality, there's plant maintenance, there's proper water and nutrients, healthy harvesting methods, and of course the proper timing of harvesting, and then of course the proper distillation methods, and making sure to not overheat certain plant materials, not overcook them. But none of these conditions or factors are really regulated under organic labeling or certification. The only thing that organic certification ensures is that no chemicals were used in the plant's cultivation. Usually the mass-produced plants or plants that are grown on large-scale industrial farms are going to be a lot less quality than plants grown on smaller farms or plantations. And this is definitely something to keep in mind when you're deciding to purchase oils from larger corporate essential oil companies versus the smaller artisan distillers. And in terms of wild harvesting plants, wild harvested, these are usually the cleanest and the healthiest plants of all because, of course, they were grown in nature, by nature, the way that nature intended. But when choosing to purchase wild harvested plants, it's absolutely crucial that you really do your research on the plant first, as a lot of the wild harvested aromatic plants are threatened today, and many of them are also endangered at this time. Like rosewood, sandalwood, palo santo, spikenard, frankincense, just a few of those, to name a few. These are, really struggling at this time. So ultimately, it's just really important that you know your source and ask them the right questions to make sure that the plants were really harvested sustainably and that the people who harvested them were compensated fairly and treated fairly in terms of the endangered plants. You should definitely also look for sources that are cultivated versus harvested in the wild whenever possible. All right, so the third factor that's important to keep in mind when purchasing aromatics and essential oils is the information that's presented on the bottle or the label, or also in the product literature. It's really important that, first off, the Latin botanical name of the plant is listed on the bottle, on the label. For one, this is going to show that the company actually takes pride in their work, they take their work seriously, and that they're supplying an actual botanical material. And then two, it also makes it so that, we're not guessing what's in the bottle. Different species of plants tend to have slightly different medicinal properties, sometimes entirely different. You may be wanting to use the medicine of a particular type of lavender, like Lavandula officinalis, but maybe you end up purchasing a bottle that contains spike lavender because the bottle only says just lavender on the label. Other information that's important to have listed on the bottle is the country of origin, and if the plant was organically or conventionally cultivated, or also if it was wild harvested. You really want to familiarize yourself with the plants and oils that you buy, and you'll find that a lot of them, or a lot of the times, there's going to be companies of fragrance oils or even essential oils that state the name of the country that doesn't even produce such an oil. People tend to really romanticize their products in today's world. They've been doing it forever as well. They want to get people to buy them. So for instance, you'll see something like Egyptian musk, but in reality, there's no musk deer living in Egypt. It's also important to know from which parts of the plant the essential oils was distilled from, because each plant has its own parts that are extracted and used for their medicinal value. Some plants also have different medicinal values in different parts, like the leaf versus the bark versus the seeds, etc. And listing this information is a sign of professionalism. So keep your eyes out and really be aware of that as well. And then one last tip for labeling, what you want to look for. If you have a product with an ingredient list, this is a really good thing. You definitely want to look out for ingredients that are organic or wild harvested, or maybe ones that you believe or you feel to be 100% clean and natural. And if you see anything that says, essence of, like essence of sandalwood, or you see something that says natural fragrance, or anything that seems slightly unclear, I would definitely advise against using that for therapeutic purposes. So the fourth factor to be aware of when purchasing aromatics is that many companies will actually bulk up more expensive essential oils or absolutes to lower their costs and raise their profits. So oftentimes you might find a really expensive essential oil that's been diluted with a much cheaper oil from similar species in the same genus. A lot of the times companies will also add unscented chemicals to kind of extend their oils so that they're putting much less essential oil in each bottle and making a lot higher profits. Sometimes companies will sell an essential oil and it won't even contain the plant that they're labeling the oil as. They might use a blend of essential oils. They might even use synthetic fragrances to create a similar aroma and charge a lot more for their product and make a lot more profit. So be sure to look out for all of these different labeling tips that I just mentioned. Next time you're buying essential oils, there's a lot of different essential oil and botanical companies out there really doing their part to source with the highest standards and offer the purest botanicals possible. But even that being said, even if you find a really awesome company that you really vibe with, you really like, that sources great products, it doesn't always mean that all of their products are going to be sourced at the same quality with the same standards. So it's a really good practice to learn to communicate with the companies you source from and purchase from, and don't be afraid to ask questions, because honestly, this is your health, and this is the health of your families and your communities that we're talking about, or your patients. So definitely feel free to ask questions, and definitely you should be asking questions if there's any question in your mind whatsoever. So now that I've covered the basics of sourcing high quality therapeutic materials, I wanted to briefly talk about the fifth factor, and that's the matter of storage. Once you've tracked down the highest quality botanicals or essential oils, it's equally important to really help them maintain their quality and potency. First off, steam distilled essential oils begin to break down over time once they get around 3 years old. Citrus oils break down after about 2. Absolutes, on the other hand, will last a lot longer, usually up to around 5 years, as they have a lot stronger tenacity. Aged oils can still be used therapeutically after they get a little bit older, but just know that they'll start losing potency and medicinal quality over time, and also their aromatic bouquet will start to dissipate as well. So to help your oils and hydrosols or other herbal extracts maintain their potency as long as possible, it's really important that you store them in amber colored bottles, out of direct sunlight. Never use any plastic or metal to store them in. Sometimes keeping them in a cabinet or a dark place is a good practice to adopt. Temperature is also important. You don't want them to get too warm or they're going to start to break down a lot faster. You always also want to keep the tops of your bottles screwed on really tightly so they don't oxidize. If your essential oils become pretty old, it may be better suited that you use them for aromatic or aesthetic purposes, like in the essential oil diffuser, or maybe putting them in candles or beauty products, and maybe think to purchase fresher batches for healing and therapeutic purposes. Just really considering how much energy and how much time and how much effort really goes into making each single bottle of essential oil. It's never a good idea to let any of it go to waste. It's such a precious resource to us. I always say if it still smells amazing, just use it up. So, all right, these are the 5 aspects of sourcing high quality aromatics and essential oils, with a few extra tips for storage as well. Really keep these in mind when you're ready to stock up next, and look out for the truth behind what's really in each bottle. For some reason, the fragrance and essential oil industries, it's a really tricky game that these companies play, and there's a lot of companies out there that are really trying to pull a fast one on people. So I just want to help you become more aware so that you don't fall victim to these companies, and so that you can really know how to track down the best sources and learn how to ask the right questions. Because it's really good to be prepared and armed with this knowledge so you can shop and source with confidence and satisfaction, knowing that you're buying clean medicine for yourself, for your family, for your clients or whoever. So we really want to be equipped with learning how to source and track down medicines in a good way. So thank you for joining me. That's it for now. I hope that you really get something good out of this video, and if you do me a favor, please pass this along to your friends, or post it wherever you think that it might benefit others. Again, thanks for watching, and take care.